every single one of those boys and girls, they're worth it to do whatever it takes, however it takes, whatever we got to do so that they could be protected, so that they could be loved, so that maybe they could experience the faith, hope, and love that they so desperately deserve and desperately need. Because right now, as we're talking, they're crying. So we better do more than talk. We better act, because they're waiting.
Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. If anyone causes a child to stumble, it would be better to have a millstone hung around their neck and be drowned in the sea. That was Jesus. He isn't with us personally tonight, but he does live through the life and actions of Tim Tebow, who is with us. Welcome back to the founder of the Tim Tebow Foundation. Welcome to you, Tim. Tell us why you went to Capitol Hill.
Well, it's because we need to build and equip a bigger rescue team to go after these 50,000 boys and girls, at least 50,000 boys and girls that law enforcement can see in abuse and rape images and videos, yet they have yet to be identified. Therefore, they have yet to be rescued. And Trey, I know this is something that is so near and dear to your heart, and it's something that is near and dear to mine. So we have to do everything we can to be able to get to these boys and girls. Because one of the things that just also crushes me about this is so many of these boys and girls, they're getting abused and hurt in their own homes. Around 80% of the 80% of the boys and girls that are getting hurt and abused are done by someone in their trusted circle. So the people that are called with the responsibility to protect the next generation, many times are doing the offending and hurting. And Trey, what do we even say to a boy or a girl about what a father looks like when a father is the first person to abuse you? What do you say? What love looks like when love, the people that are supposed to love you, are the people that sold you or exploited you? That's why we have to step up, because we have to protect the next generation. We have to love them. And what does love really do? Love, the greatest form of love is not a feeling; it's a choice. And we have the greatest example of that is in Jesus, what he has done for us, and we get to have that same act. For all of these boys and girls. And the best definition I've ever heard for love is to choose the best interest of another person and act on their behalf. And I believe that's what we're trying to do with that bill. And I know that's what so many of your viewers care about, is choosing their best interest and acting on their behalf. And that's what we're fighting for.
You are correct. It is a life sentence for the victims, for children who are victimized. And, you know, Tim, if anything should be apolitical and bipartisan, if anything can be left in our culture, it should be protecting children. So what kind of reception did you receive? I imagine it was positive, but I'll ask you, what kind of reception did you receive?
Honestly, a really great reception, bipartisan, bicameral, both sides, so many people. I'm so grateful for our patrons and Laura Lee, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Senator Cornyn, Senator Blumenthal. So many people are rallying to this, and I'm so grateful for that. But honestly, Trey, our heart is that this would be one of the fastest bills ever passed, because so many children are waiting. And we wanted to make this in such a way where this is all about kids. This is not about partisan. This is not about politics. It is about people. It is about every one of those boys and girls. That's why we really feel like the approach with this is it's somewhat above reproach. Like, we want to build a bigger rescue team to be able to equip that rescue team, go from 7 victim identification specialists at C3, which most of those are my friends and heroes, and I love what they do. But can you imagine if there's only 7 people that are called to storm this hill by themselves? That just can't happen. We got to build a bigger rescue team. So what this bill would take us to is to 200 full-time investigators and victim identification experts. Then it would also give C3 the ability to bring in experts outside that can use their area of expertise to help find and rescue these kids, and then give C3 the ability to coordinate and deconflict all of the information that is flooding in. And so our heart is to do anything and everything possible for these kids. And I'm so grateful for the response from so many people on both sides of the aisle, because I really do believe there's so many people that do care about protecting the next generation. And one of the hopes with this is to create awareness, because it doesn't just stop with awareness, but when people are aware, then they have the choice. Do I act or am I passive? And I believe there's so many people that will act to step up and protect our kids.
All right, Tim, you have chosen human trafficking, child exploitation, other areas where you literally have seen depravity and evil up close. I know what it did to me as a prosecutor. You seem to still have your faith. You seem to not be cynical. So how did you do that?
because I believe what happens is that we get to have hope even in the midst of hard circumstances, even in the midst of chaos and conflict and crisis. The hope that we have doesn't leave. Our hope is because our hope isn't based on our circumstances. Our hope is based on a person and that person's finished work of what Jesus has done on the cross and that accounted for us. So you know what? We use the word hope all the time. Like, I hope we win. Or I'm sure yesterday you were hoping for South Carolina to win. I'm sorry that didn't happen for you. But that's not the biblical form of hope. The biblical form of hope means to look forward with confidence, expectation, and anticipation. And why we can do that is because we know that we get to be on God's team, not because we've earned it or deserving, but because of his grace of what he has done for us and how much he loves all of humanity. And so our heart is to bring that hope to the world, a hope that isn't based on our circumstances. It's based on his promises, because the biblical form of hope is based on his promises, and they're the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Tim Tebow continuing to do even more off the field than he did on the field, which is saying quite a lot. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday night, Tim, and thank you for dedicating your post-football career to helping other people.
So appreciate you, and thank you for always caring and always supporting and believing in this fight and stepping into it. And I'm just so grateful. Thanks for your heart, brother.
Amen. Take care.